IEBC, as currently constituted, cannot preside over a free, fair, and transparent elections in this country. Forget about it. As a matter of fact, IEBC should be disbanded. In today's daily, there is a notice there by IEBC. In that notice, IEBC is claiming that they've actually verified and uploaded a list of 1.3 million signatures of the supporters of the BBI initiative, which is okay. But they're going further to claim or to ask anybody or any person whose details has been captured as a supporter without their consent, mark that, without their consent, to write to them to object by January 25th. We've had referendum initiatives in this country before. We had Okoa Kenya. They never did this. In fact, for Okoa Kenya, it was clear that the system just decided to thwart it. Okoa Kenya submitted a list of 1.4 million. Ultimately, at the end of the day, they only cleared 800,000 signatures, which were below the threshold of 1 million, which was understandable. The Punguza Mzigo initiative, IBC verified 1 million signatures without noise, without asking for money. But for the BBI, IBC has been asking for money. They were given the money. They are now marking time. That from that time up to now, they've only verified 1.3 million signatures, which is okay. But now they are going further to ask anybody who appended their signature there to object. Let me ask you, if I appended my signatures in that book, and today I claim that I did not append my signature, how will you prove? How will you prove that I'm not the same person who appended the signature? As a matter of fact, anybody who wants to stop Okoa Kenya, who wants to stop the BBI referendum, can do it so easily. You can just pick that list, identify 300,000 people, give each one of them 2,000, and ask them to object. That threshold will not be met. And that's exactly what IBC is trying to do. And President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga are seated somewhere just watching these guys. But that's not the content of this video today. I'm going to go into that in details in my next video. For now, I want to ask you guys a very simple question. Assuming in August, because we'll have another election in next year, August. Assuming next year, August, after the elections, IEBC declares William Ruto as the validly elected president of the Republic of Kenya. I want to ask you a honest question. Do you think William Ruto can make a good president of the Republic of Kenya? A good president? Do you think he can make a good president? Please let me know in the comment section. Because in this video, I want to explain to you, I want to give my reasons why personally I believe William Ruto cannot make a good president. I'm not saying that he cannot be elected the president of the Republic of Kenya. He can be elected by Kenyans. But after being sworn in office, can he make a good president? I want us to be very brief today. These are my reasons why I strongly believe he can't make a good president. Number one is his associates. Normally there's this say that when you want to understand a character of a man, look for his friends. I know there's some exceptional cases where you can be a good man, but you associate with bad men. Or you can be a good woman, you associate with bad women. But in most cases, your friends determine the person you are. Your network is normally your net worth. William Samoei Ruto is surrounded by many people, majority of them of questionable characters. That's the honest truth. Some of these guys have done so many funny things in this country. If you look, for example, one of the key guys following him, his close friend, someone like Farouk Kibet, who has stayed with him. Farouk Kibet was a councillor. Today, Farouk Kibet is known for almost not very good things in this country. You can go. Even the husband to Susan Kihika, who is a very close friend of him, there's so many people around the deputy president. So many people talk of, so many of them. You know them. You can mention several of them. And because of that, these funny characters, the moment the deputy president will be sworn in office, he will not discard them. He won't discard them. What will happen is that most of these people will find space around the deputy president, who will then be the president of the Republic of Kenya. And once they get the space around the deputy president, it will mean they do their own things. Up to now, I'm yet to understand how all the bad deals in this country can actually be traced to the office of the deputy president. I can't. But it's happening right in our eyes. So some of these guys are going to hinder him from delivering. Most of them are wheeler dealers, people who just are in it for the deals. So that's number one. Number two is business interest. I once said on this platform that William Ruto is a student of two key individuals. William Ruto is a student of Moi politics. And William Ruto is a student of Raila Odinga's politics. So he has combined these two politics, which is very lethal. Ruto understands the power of money in politics. So when Jubilee took over government in the first term, he knew so well what he wanted. The deputy president wanted to make money for his campaigns. And indeed, up to now, I don't think there is anybody in this country who has accumulated enough wealth under Jubilee government than the deputy president William Ruto. His Samaco company won tenders to almost all insurance for government vehicles in this country. The NTSA hired almost all his vehicles during that time. You remember the time they were chasing people with those Peugeots. In energy sector, and it's claimed that's what actually is causing friction between him and the first family, William Ruto and his allies ventured into businesses there. And they made money. Almost all mega tenders in this country, his footprints is scattered all over. Almost all of them. And is not yet the president of the Republic of Kenya. Assuming today William Ruto is made the president of the Republic of Kenya, what do you think will happen in business? His businesses. Amako will be revived because Amako, once the government started frustrating him, withdrew all those government tenders, it went under. Today, Weston Hotel is strategically positioned there. And I'm told when he was powerful, he did something. He convinced the Kenya Airways, anytime they needed hotels, then they would be spending there. Like, you know, sometimes when there's a delay in flights, it's the responsibility of the airline to book people in the hotels. So entered into that arrangement with most of the airlines. Not because Western Hotel was the best, but because of his influence. If he becomes the president, the question is, will others have the opportunity? So I don't think that will help him achieve. Business and politics, they don't rhyme. I want to give you a typical example. You see, the President Uhuru Kenyatta, and the family, they're running businesses, which are known. When Jubilee came into power, the president family started advancing the interest in their milk industry. Is KCC able to run or operate today? No. Why? Because of conflict of interest. And there are several. So because of that, the deputy president will not be able. Number three, why I think he can't make a good president is what I can call his reform credentials. Ruto doesn't have clear reform credentials. In fact, Miguna once described Ruto as someone who has done nothing for this country. There's nothing really you can attribute to him. Okay, you can say people like James Orengo fought, Raila fought, you can, they're a bit of their contribution. But what of William Samoei Ruto, as at now? Zero. And because of that lack of reform credentials, he's going to represent impunity. So impunity is likely to be part and parcel of William Ruto's presidency. Should he win? Sometimes I use this channel to say these things so that they're on record. Kenyans who warned against Jubilee government, they didn't listen. There are people who want them. But this one of mine is going on reform. Today, if you go to Western Hotel, for example, it's lying on a government land. When Ruto became the deputy president, then there was the need, because Western Hotel was now expanding, they needed a parking. So there was a land just next to it for the Langata Primary School playing field. That land was being taken by William Samoei Ruto. So that's impunity. That's impunity. If he becomes the president, I think impunity can actually be the order of the day. William Ruto described NASA supporters when they were demonstrating in the last election as militia from a small section of the country. So basically, I interpreted that to mean that if he was the president, because then Uhuru was the president, if he was the president, he would have rounded up these people. And probably something else would have happened. So impunity will form part of William Ruto's presidency. And that will stop him from being a good president. Unless you can convince me otherwise. But I'm just giving you those known examples. I can go further. Look at Mteshi land, which he took. What of it is the president? President is totally different ballgame. The other thing which will make him not a good president is the source of his campaign money. William Ruto is running one of the most expensive campaigns in this country. It has never happened before. Even Uhuru Kenyatta with the Kenyatta family money never conducted such kind of heavy campaign. From 2017, from 2018, after the handshake, up to now, William Ruto is campaigning. And not just campaigning, spending millions and millions every single week. Every single week. So the question is, what are the sources of this money? And how are this money going to be recovered? These monies will be recovered through your taxes. So which means definitely, once he's in office, his appointments will be geared towards recovering some of this money. Unless he can explain to Kenyans that personally for this campaign, I'm going to spend 2 billion or 3 billion or even 10 billion. And the source is this, this, and this. Without that, and again, there are people who are pumping money into his campaigns. These guys are not going to allow him to rule without recovering their money. And lastly, his promises. If there's something that the deputy president has actually mastered, is the art or the politics of deceit. William Ruto can say certain things and you easily believe them. By the time you realize you are being cheated, it's already late. Let me take you back a bit. During the referendum, 2010 referendum, William Ruto convinced the people, the Masais or the pastoralists, that if they voted yes to that constitution, their cows were going to be taken from them by force. It has not happened up to now. William Ruto promised Kenyans stadiums. You know, the Jubilee government promised 6 stadiums. Then he added them to be 9. Yeah? The Jubilee government promised Kenyans laptops. Up to now, there are no laptops for students or for kids in this country. Those promises were made by Jubilee. Gets it straight. But the person who was making those promises was William Samoei Ruto. Why? Because he's the guy who is able to give those promises and then run away from responsibility. So William Ruto is going to promise Kenyans a lot of things, including things they've been unable to do in the last 8 years. And then when he sits in office, after 1 month, Kenyans will start disappointed. And once that disappointment takes the order of the day, like the Kikuyus are disappointed with Uhuru Kenyatta, then he will lose the ground to focus his government. I don't know what you think. Maybe for you, you think the deputy president can actually make the best president for the Republic of Kenya. If you believe so, let me read those comments, because this is just a debate. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day.